Well, hello everyone again. My name is Triin Randla. I'm the host for Interim Talks podcast, and today with me is Marit Finni, with whom actually we met a few years ago. And today I'm honored that you took time to have this interview with me. So, hello.
Hello, thank you, Trine, for inviting me. And firstly, happy birthday, Trine. I know it's a
Oh,
special day for
no,
you.
no, no. We don't talk about, let's don't not talk about age, but thank you again for the good wishes.
No, no
So,
age.
no age at all. So, but let's start with brief introduction. So, just describe what you are doing in the interim world.
In interim world, at the moment, I'm not highly active because I have a day job as well, and my interim experiences have been rather different ones. What you have the last few podcasts I have looked at, what you have interviewed. My interims have been short term, going in, solving a certain problem or issue or a challenge, what I have been asked to find a solution to, and then I'll back up and continue my daily work.
But maybe we can talk about a few or one interim project that you have had, and maybe you can describe also when did you stepped into some kind of projects that you have had previously.
Sure. I have had in last few years three different, let's say, short-term internship or interims. One was as short as 2.5 weeks, and the other one, the longest one, was about half a year. But these ones I did. I wasn't full time doing it, but part time. Because I have a day job as well, so I'm kind of then people come and ask me to help with something. I can be really look inside and say, okay, I can help with this, or I can be choosy in terms of what I do, and I really enjoy it because if I see that I can help, this is a challenge also for me, which is fun usually. So I'm happily accepting them, and usually I know these people one way or the other, so they are not like just strangers who are coming to ask to solve something. So,
But
but
but maybe you can describe a bit what has been like the situation in the company when you stepped in, and
yes,
what were the expectations from the board
Mhm.
members.
Okay. The last one was the one which was probably the shortest, for just a few weeks. There's a very large company in Estonia, everybody would know, but because I haven't asked their permission, so I can't name the names. But they have lots of different business lines where they operate. And for one of these business lines, they needed an extension and automation type of project. And because I had been working in a similar project for a few years before that, they asked, like they are stuck, or the board feels like, is it the right thing? Will it work? There's a team working on it already, but they needed kind of the business case validation and the strategy to go forward. So I was like, okay, because I literally had fresh experience. I love the idea. Sure. So I went in, I did all the analysis, and you know what is the big benefit of being an interim, because the team inside whose idea it is, who are working on it for a while, they fall in love with the idea and they become very emotionally involved. Yet I come in and I'm not emotionally involved. I have tasked to validate, to see if this business model works or to make it work. So I can just base on facts. It was a short term. I didn't have to I didn't go in as an employee as such. So that was in that sense an interesting case, because I did numbers this and that way, build different models, sparred it with different people, and the model they had decided to go initially, it doesn't work. I can't make it profitable. I can't make it work. So I started to come up with different strategies how to make it work. And this is what I reflected back to the company as well. The interesting thing was that I think the board knew inside that it's not going to work this way, and that's why they also asked like an external view on this. But initially they were still like, we have invested so much already on this, and I guess you're going to keep on investing, but it will not bring you back in this format, or like you would need to change. So that was basically, that's when I exited. I didn't stay on that one, and a little bit, maybe a couple of months later, or maybe less, I can't remember now exactly. It came back to me that they said, yes, they had to pull the plug because they saw that this way it's not going to work, and they had to readjust it. So I was glad to hear they did something with this, because I would have hated to see that it won't work. So that was a very interesting and in a way rewarding interim experience for me.
But maybe you can describe one other project also, and then you can also tell what are the pros and cons being an interim in a company based on a case study.
Second, the one was a longer one. There's one big businessman who has quite a lot of different businesses, and one of the business was going into the food business. And at that time, there were just few people doing occasionally the work. There was no systems, no business model, no nothing at the end of the day. And he asked, okay, can you come and lead this business? And because I had a day job, I was like, no, I can't. I'm not going to take this on as a full-time job, but I can help you to set it up. And then we'll find the general manager who will keep on going it so that we can start scaling it. And that's what we did. Luckily, he was very involved in the business. So we had lots of meetings. We could get everything in order. And he was very open also. I've always appreciated if the one who orders a job or who wants me to do something is behind it 100%. Because it's so much easier that you don't have to spend time on proving why you're right, but it's more like making it happen, creating the systems. And in that case, it was literally building a business and creating the systems, because, motivation works only so far or goes only so far. The systems work, systems deliver. So setting it up, it took about half a year, plus minus. We had a new person on board. I was helping. So maybe after 4 months, we had probably the person found. And then I was just on the side giving it over, helping to get acquainted and get going. So this was a different type of project, but also I have always enjoyed these projects.
But you have been doing interim projects for a long time. And maybe actually it's good to ask from you that when company should not hire interim and have like permanent employee?
Yes, so it's a good question. I'll start a little bit further away. There are 3 types of leaders what a company would need at a different time of phase. Firstly, it's kind of a stable seas leader. So it's organic growth, everything is in place, things are kind of going, market is growing, business is going, like no disruption necessary. There are type of leaders who are really good at keeping and following the system. Then there's a second type of leader, is kind of let's say revolutionary, or a lack of a better word. So it's big changes, quick scaling, grabbing the bull by the horn, let's say. And then third option is the certain type of expertise missing. So you really need to fix something, whether it's a culture problem or it's a scaling problem or something. There is an expert, which you don't have, but you don't need it long term. So what's the case when company doesn't need really an interim, I would say would be if it's a very stable seas, then it's better to have somebody who has time, gets into the culture, values, because most of the interims, at least my experience is, you don't have time so much to go into the softer values. You solve a problem. So in that sense, in my personal opinion, there's less value in taking it during if you just want to keep the business, and more value when you want to disrupt, scale, or need a very specific expertise.
And I would like to actually also know that what have you learned during the period of time when you have been interim, and what are, let's call it, what are your like the strongest points that you have that why you deliver so good? I know how you work. I know you are really strong operational interim or CEO interim. But yeah, what have you learned during the period of time when you have been interim, and what are your strong points?
Thank you. Maybe what I have learned is that somebody comes with a challenge or problem and ask you to go and fix it or find a solution, and that's usually not the problem. So what I have learned always is not to deal with just the symptoms, but go really deep and to find out where the problem comes from and solve the root cause. Like a doctor, you don't just put the band-aid on, you try to see what's causing it and fixing it. So then they first tell you, that's my biggest learning, look beyond, find the real reasons. And often you can't get it from the person, you have to go in and see what actually needs to be fixing.
What are your strong points? I know it's not like Estonian way to say good things about yourself, but let's try.
I would say also systems, like I mentioned before, that any short-term fix based on motivation or one finding will not deliver a long-term success. So having the systems in place, or kind of routines or disciplines, which will deliver that long-term success. And well, what I believe also, it's one of the strengths is that finding the root cause and creating the system. And maybe that's a thing on all the 3 interim projects. What I have done is created the systems to start scaling. And because it has been short term, I usually don't see the success when I'm there. I see it months or sometimes even years later if it's implemented and it's staying on. So like I said before, motivation is temporary, systems are long term, and it's like athletes, they need to every day same exercises until they get to the top of the world. So,
well, that's true. Usually we can't see the results, and then we can only from the distance see, oh, that was me being there in the beginning. But as interims, we don't have time to adapt. And the main thing is, if you want to achieve really good results in a short period of time, you need to gain the trust from the employees in the company. How do you build the trust when you step in and you don't have that much of time?
It's a good question. I've been thinking about it because I never really had, even in the short-term projects, you don't have that much of the issue. I think it's more longer-term projects because short-term you have initial apprehension, but people are polite and everything. For me, it's been more the challenge to find actual influences in the company. It's not the structure which usually I would say delivers all the decisions or influence. So getting the trust in that sense is easy because you have very clear vision, I work very transparently in all my day job as well as my interim jobs. I think that already helps to build trust without any effort. But it's more of a fact that who are the actual influence and decision makers and where to get the right info, because by default, people tend to be a little bit afraid if somebody stranger is brought in and fix something. People tend to take it more personally that I'm going to challenge the work, I don't like it or something, but I've stayed really impartial and purely on facts, and that usually helps that I don't get personal. So it's just business. Again, my experience is a short-term projects where this has not been never an issue.
It's always like this, that it's actually good to be the new one and neutral one in the company, but also there are like the cons. But for sure, everything has not been like running smoothly for you during the interim projects. Maybe you can name out some challenges that you have had, and how have you overcome those challenges?
Challenges are interesting things. I actually like challenges. I think if something interesting comes up, it usually presents some kind of a solution or opportunity as well, because if everything is so handy dandy, then it's like there's no use, so it's uninteresting. But I guess for my projects, the biggest challenge have been the time frame. Even though I have agreed to this time frame or even asked for short time frames, you have to deliver very, very quickly. So you don't have like a normal onboarding or knowing who is who, and basically you go in, you just ask maybe even stupid questions, ask even, what was your name again? Can you help me with this? Basically it's the time challenge is always what very quickly delivering results, but in a normal job you would have months. Or in a normal job, like if you go in as a leader of a team, you are even expected not to act really fast, like the first 100 days, look, observe, form an opinion, get into the culture. This is my experience as interim has been exactly opposite. So you go in, you have 2 weeks, you have 1 month, go deliver. We want the answers, we want the results. So that's probably something also what motivates to come up with solutions quickly.
But with this also, there are some kind of personal pressures that come with the interim roles. Maybe we don't talk about it enough. Do you have some kind of that kind of issues that you can name out that it seems, interim will step in, step out, but actually it's not that easy for us?
To be honest, for me, the interim, going in and out of business, it's every time a little bit like you get this adrenaline rush. It's new people, new problem. You don't know yet if you can solve it, but you always do. It's kind of the can be a little bit like high pressure for that. But for me, I think that what I consider the most difficult, or why I haven't full-time gone into interim, is that there is no consistency in terms of you could have a job for, let's say, 2 years or 2 months, and you don't know when you get the next one, and if you get the next one. So I think for interims, this is probably, as an interim, most challenging to have the job's continuity. And if there would be job continuity more guaranteed or more clear, perhaps there would be more interims also who could help, because then it's not the pressure of keeping.
I totally agree with this one also. But what I have noticed is, I don't know if you have experienced it also, that when one door closes, then another one opens, and it's so weird. And even in these projects, it works actually. And for me, it has been also super sad to like step out from the company because you almost get to know all the team and then it's time for you to leave. So this is also one sad part of it. But as a high level interim, C-level manager, say C-level interim, then for sure there are some viewers who are newcomers, and I would like you to give some tips or advice how to be a really good interim. What are like the main tips that you would give?
Main tips. First tip is know what you are expected or what you are asked to deliver the value. So always think what is most valuable for the company, because it feels that sometimes the board is just seeing a problem, but what's the real value for the company? Is it really a problem or something different? So know exactly why you are going in and redefine it when necessary. And just to deliver the value, you are not there to stay or save the world. Stay objective. What happens in the companies, it's so sweet to see that how into their business they are and how believe their ideas, but they have this what I call home blindness. They don't see it anymore because they have been doing it for years and years, and then you come with fresh eyes and say, hey, have we considered this or that, or done differently? Or sometimes they say, oh, we have done it, but they didn't do it in the right way. So there is a proof of success if you do a certain way. So basically stay impartial, stay really objective, think of what delivers most value for the business or growth for the business. And maybe lastly, I would say it's business is people. People do business. Business itself does. It's just a result of people. So
these are really good. These are really good, actually, things that you pointed out. I would like to also know your opinion about are company owners nowadays hiring more interims? Can you see that it's growing field?
I think it is, or I have seen or I have heard much more about it. Maybe before they didn't use that word also so much. But I guess the pressures for the business have been increasing. The global competition is so high nowadays that you really need really strong experts. You need quick solutions, out-of-box solutions. So it's definitely something which is growing. And I do recommend also to the businesses that use more interims, even if it's a short term, create some kind of disruption, next move, even changing the culture. Sometimes it's necessary for the older business, especially, or bigger businesses, which are quite slow in terms of change. So that's really helpful, but you don't need to have the expensive expert with you forever. It's enough to come in and create the change, and then you continue smooth sailing.
These are really wise words, and it's actually a good time to wrap it up. And if the viewers have any questions, then feel free to comment below the video. And then Marit is more than happy to answer all the questions. And you can find Marit in LinkedIn also. And thank you again, Marit, for your time. Hopefully, we will meet soon in real life also. And I will continue with my birthday day.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much, and enjoy your birthday.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Nii